Hey, what's up, guys? Hazy Ames here. I know it's been a minute since I have posted anything on YouTube or uploaded anything on YouTube. I've been very busy trying to play through The Witcher 3, and that review is still in the works. That game is just so huge. I think I'm about 70 hours into The Witcher 3 right now, and I'm running around doing, I shouldn't say everything, but most of what I can do in that game. So that is still in the works. That is still something that I plan on getting to. There's just a lot of gameplay to accomplish in that game. But without further ado, I'm pretty excited to go over this game and review this game, Medieval. I picked this game up for $5 on sale, and honestly, it was a steal for $5. I probably would have paid $10 for it. Even though it's not an extremely long game, I thought what they did was pretty dang good. If you like arena shooters like Quake, Doom, Wolfenstein, those type of games, definitely pick this up. It is definitely a fast-paced arena shooter. But let's just jump right into it here. First thing we're going to go over is the graphics. I mean, it's an indie game. It's an old school vibe game, and the graphics reflect that. The graphics are good for what they're trying to accomplish. I don't see anything wrong with them. I think they're good. I mean, they're nothing to write home about, but either are quite a few of the arena shooters. So I think they did a great job visually on the graphics with the weapons and the enemies and the worlds. Yeah, I mean, this has a good old school arena shooter vibe, and it has that indie vibe. Yeah, I mean, it was good. Graphics were good. They were good for what it was, you know. The gameplay was pretty good. I liked the gameplay quite a bit. There's a numerous times throughout my gameplay where I was just gaming and or streaming, and I was like, like this game is just good. Like it's a lot of fun. There's numerous times where I was like, I'm having a lot of fun playing this game, and I can't say that even for some AAA games that have came out, So that really kind of says where the state of AAA gaming is and the state of indie developers and smaller studios that are developing games. You don't have to find fun in all of these AAA games. There's fun to be had in say a $5 or $10, little arena shooter like I found here. It's just good. Like there's the different style of weapons were good. They had different abilities, different special abilities. Different weapons were better to use against different specific enemies. And the game doesn't tell you that. The game's not like, well, this weapon works better on this enemy or this weapon works better on this enemy. You just gotta kind of figure that out on your own, which is great. That's great to notice. Like, oh, well, I should use this weapon because this weapon's really good in this situation. The puzzles in the game weren't overly complicated, which I actually appreciate. I don't want a super complicated puzzly arena shooter because I want to I want it to be fast paced and go like, okay, let's go to the next area, let's go on and kill these enemies in this area, let's get to the next boss. I don't want to spend a lot of time with puzzles. The puzzles are pretty straightforward, nothing too crazy. There were, I think, a couple levels where it took me a little bit to figure out where I needed to go, but half of that was just I got myself turned around in a couple levels, so some of that was my own fault. The boss fights. The boss fights were pretty good, and they were all very unique bosses. I think there was maybe two that were kind of similar. The mechanics weren't anything too crazy, but there's some interesting ways you have to fight the bosses, interesting environments that you fight the bosses in. The reason I'm only showing the Horde, the reason I'm only showing the Horde playthrough right here, the game mode Horde, is because I don't want to give any spoilers away. I thought about showing, like me playing through the campaign, maybe showing you a couple of bosses, but I was like, I don't want to ruin that. I don't want to ruin that for you. Like, I don't want to ruin even like the boss that's not even that crazy. You know, like maybe I didn't want to ruin any of that for you. I want you to get this game, experience for yourself, experience the boss fights for yourself, experience the levels for yourself. I didn't want to ruin that one single bit. So that's why this gameplay you're seeing here is the Horde mode. Yeah, the boss fights were good, man. There's probably two boss fights if you get this game and play it that you're just gonna be like, wow, like that was an interesting way for them to do that boss. Like that's just an interesting way to fight him, especially in an arena shooter. So, but yeah, but I was very pleased with the design of the boss fights. Moving on to story. I mean, honestly, I'm still not sure 100% on what the story all entailed. Um, I'll just kind of give you my interpretation of it. So there's not a lot of like cutscenes or things like that. Not like dialogue. There's little like things in each level that you can go up to and like have a little blurb of what you need to do or where you're at and what's kind of going on where you're at. And as far as I can tell, you're pretty much going to a world or galaxy and trying to defeat like a prime evil type of boss of the world or galaxy, and I could be way off. If you actually know what's going on in the story, but just tell me please down in the comments because I don't really know. I didn't spend the time to like look it up on like Reddit or the Wikipedia or anything like that. Uh, so I'm not 100% sure. That's my interpretation. The music in the game it's good. I wasn't overly impressed with it. I thought the music was going to be better because some of the trailers I saw had some pretty crazy like rock and roll music going, but that's probably just for that trailer. I didn't experience any of that in game. But for what it was, the music was okay. I wish there might have been a little more like upbeat music during crazy battles and boss fights, but I felt like the music fit in the levels and for the most part with what was going on in the scene. So it was okay. Nothing crazy. Replayability is okay. I mean, I don't see myself playing it a whole lot more. I spent 8 hours. I played on medium difficulty. There's two more difficulties you can play through. Hard and extreme or something like that. The horde mode was okay. I mean, there could be a little more replayability maybe with, say, like a multiplayer incorporated or something like that. But I mean, for $5, if you can pick this game up for $5, I would definitely do it. Even if you can pick this game up for, say, 10, I still think there's value in it at $10. I beat the game in 8 hours, so I mean, you figure that's a little over $1 an hour if you get it for 10. If you get it for 5, it's a straight up steal. Yeah, I mean, tell me down in the comments if you guys have played this before, if you're thinking about picking it up. Let me know if you do pick it up. Let me know what you think about the things that I went over. And if anybody seriously knows what's going on in the story, let me know down in the comments. Like I said, I will be having the Witcher 3 review eventually. It's just still a work in progress. I appreciate everybody who stops by and watches these videos. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. It helps me out a lot, helps the algorithm out a lot, just helps out so many things, and kind of makes me want to keep doing these type of videos. If you know you enjoy watching these, I appreciate it. Much love. This is Hazy Ames signing off. See you later.